Look, I opened this jar of rotten baby food, and well, a butterfly came out.
Yes. I mean, ridiculous things like don't be ugly, it's inconsiderate.
Welcome to the Comedians in Elevators podcast. I've got my guest, Sandra Hale. Sandra, say hi, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm Sandra Hale, and I've been a professional actor for many, many years, probably about 58 years.
Okay.
And when the work dried up about 14 years ago, when the work dried up, round about the same time I did, I decided to go into comedy.
There you
And
go.
there you go.
That's the way. That's actually a beginning. It's the transition to the new world.
Oh, yeah.
So, right. So, Sandra, you ready to get started?
Sure thing.
All
Far
right. So the
away.
whole listen to my regular listeners. I know you don't like when at the beginning of these conversations I ask you to subscribe. None of us like it. I don't like saying it. I don't like it being in here. But it's frustrating. You know what else is frustrating? It's also frustrating when I look in the back end of the YouTube channel and I see the 56% of you that watch frequently haven't yet subscribed. And I know this because I see it in the comments section. You say things like, I didn't know I didn't subscribe. And that's actually what fuels the show. Basically, it's like you're making a donation to the show. So that's why I ask all the time, because it enables us to build and build and build. And we're going for the long term here. Hit the subscribe button and we'll continue to build this show for you. That's my promise. Thank you to all you guys that do subscribe. It means the world to me. Okay, so the whole point of the podcast is to compare and contrast the comic versus the comedian. So I define the comic as any person telling funny jokes versus the comedian who's a funny person telling any jokes. So Sandra, would you agree that you start as a comic and evolve into a comedian?
Well, I'm a naturally funny person, so
Okay.
obviously I evolved. Um, yeah, I always did comedy acting. I always, there's a thing about timing. My timing was always on point, and so it was a natural transition for me to go into comedy.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
it's all about the timing. So, okay. So what about the content?
oh, content's very, very important. And you have to write so much, and there are certain rules, of course. You've got to get a laugh within the first 15 seconds.
Right.
All the rules. We all know
All
the
the
rules of three, and
well,
yeah,
well, yeah, rule of three, yeah, list of three. That's my favorite one. So, are you ready for the first question, Sandra?
sure thing.
All right. So, it's about the role of persona in comedy. So, how much of the comedian's voice is a character versus their real self?
Okay, well, this is very interesting because
Hmm.
for me personally, as I've been doing comedy for 14 years, and for the first 7 years, I was myself. I was Sandra, standing up, doing observational comedy, telling things as myself.
Hmm.
But I realized, maybe because of my age, or maybe because of the society that we're living in, I wasn't getting received as well, particularly from a certain age group. And so I then became a character.
Mm.
Now, the character could get away with anything because it wasn't me speaking, it was the character speaking. So, yeah,
So, who is the character exactly? Do you have an alter ego with a
I
different
have an
name?
alter ego. Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, she's really outrageous. She can get away with anything. Her name, she's, well, I'm speaking to an American audience, I presume, but
global.
you, global.
Yeah,
Well, my
yeah.
name and I have the whole wig and tattoos and everything on it.
Oh,
My name is Romaine, like the posh lettuce, and
okay.
I can get away with anything. I've had three husbands, 8 kids, and 12 grandkids, and I'm full of tats, and it's great. I can say whatever I like.
So you don't actually have tattoos now. as Sandra,
No,
right?
no, they're stick-on ones.
Okay, gotcha. But they look real, is what you're saying.
They look
Like,
very real. And I
all
change
right.
them depending on the audience.
I like that. That's a very now you have yeah, temperature control. So you're showing them off is part of the whole
Sure.
routine.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. Okay, so then the question is, does authenticity matter or is illusion part of the magic?
I think authenticity matters whatever you're doing because people know fake. And even though my character, Romaine, is a totally made up thing, she's a stereotype of a certain kind of person that you may see in England.
Hmm.
There has to be authenticity about her because the audience have got to like her.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
got to
that's
buy
I mean
into her. So
that
there's got to be authenticity there.
that's for sure. All right, so how about punching up versus punching down? So where do comics versus comedians subscribe to this? And let me put it in some historical context. Did a
Yeah.
jealous medieval prince become the first comedian by killing the court jester?
Hmm. That's a very difficult question to answer, actually. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
what is your sense?
does the comic, let me repeat your question, does the comic, punching up or punching down?
Yeah. I mean, do you do either?
Yeah, depending on the audience.
I'm curious about the punching down. What's your
Well, when I say
punching?
punching down, it depends what you define as punching down.
Well, let's put
What
it
is
this
your
way. Let's put
what's
it
your
this way. Is criticizing dead people considered punching down?
Oh, I wouldn't. There are certain lines you don't cross.
Okay, so that
There are
helps put in
certain,
context.
well, there are, listen, you have a very well-known comedian in the States who punches down all the time, and she's amazing. And
Hmm,
she pushes the boundaries all the time.
right.
That, I mean, do you want me to mention?
Beady, beady, beady. Yeah, no, it's definitely the
Well,
choice.
Lisa Lampanelli, she's wonderful. She'll never be on mainstream TV, I don't think, but as a club comedian, she goes where other people don't go. She
Right.
really does. She doesn't believe she crosses every boundary going. And you either love her or you hate her. You know, there's
Hmm.
no in between. There's no gray matter.
No, great. Love it. Okay, so how about cultural translation of comedy? So, how do jokes that work in one country bomb in another?
Okay, right. So I've done gigs in Prague at an English speaking comedy club. Went down very well. Went down extraordinarily well in Berlin,
Hmm.
mainly
Whoa.
because they were all stoned.
Okay.
I mean, the whole place smelt of weed.
So, are they
And
laughing out loud in general?
yeah, they were laughing out loud. I had a great audience. So I don't know whether it was me or whether it was that. And this was as myself. And also as myself, a couple of years ago, I did a gig in East Village in New York,
Hmm.
and I went down well there. So obviously, there are certain references I might make to something specific to England
Okay.
that perhaps people wouldn't get, and TV programs that are here that perhaps people wouldn't get. But generally, humor is humor. Either got funny bones or you haven't.
That's right. So then how does the silence when your joke doesn't land hurt? Physically,
Hurts
emotionally, morally, or spiritually?
in everything. I have, when you see, sometimes I've bombed so badly that you could see tumbleweed going in the background almost. And one gig I did in Covent Garden, I was the only woman on the bill, which is quite normal.
Hmm.
Um, I was the only woman and I just didn't land. Everything was a disaster. Crickets, it was awful. And it was in Covent Garden and it was raining. And as I left the gig, and I hid out I didn't want to go into the ladies' toilets in case people were talking, So I had my hood up because it was raining, as it always does in London. And I was walking and we were getting to the tube and it was all crowded. And I heard people talking behind me. And one said, "Oh, that was a great gig tonight. Weren't they great? Apart from the woman."
It's
She was,
always someone.
oh, so, and I kept because obviously you can tell who I am. I kept my hood like this and I scurried off. But I allow myself a 24-hour mope, wallow in self-pity. Then I give myself a slap around the face and say, "Come on, next." And when you have a great gig, there's nothing like it. Nothing
Yeah.
like it.
So would you say that comics are more universal while comedians are more culturally specific?
Oh, comics. You see, there's a very thin line that separates them. So, I mean, I transition from comic to comedian and from
Okay.
comedian to comic. So,
How do you do that on stage during the same set?
no,
Okay.
no, I make a decision whether if I'm myself, then people either use, I think
So
all
when you're
comedians
your, go ahead.
are masochists.
What about comics? Are comics masochists? And are you a
Definitely. We
comic when
all
you're
are.
yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. But
We're
are you a
all,
comic when you're playing Sandra or a comedian? Would you say that your other character, your alter ego is the comedian or the
yeah.
comic? Okay.
Ah, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. This is
Well,
horrible. I really don't know because
it's a conundrum.
it is a conundrum because I would have meshed comic and comedian together.
Two sides of the same coin. That's how I see it. So it's
Yeah,
just a
that's
question
it.
of, yeah, exactly. So is it landing heads or tails? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so uh, let's put it in. So let's say so love and justice. So is the highest function of comedy to expose injustice or to make people feel less alone while living with it?
Ah. Well, right. When I'm myself, this is awful. I sound like a schizophrenic, don't when I'm
Not at all.
myself, when I'm appearing as myself,
Hmm.
I am very self-deprecating. I'm talking about me and things about me, hoping that a lot of the audience identify with it, and so consequently they don't feel so bad about themselves, right?
Hmm.
When I am my character, I attack other people and talk about other people because I can.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that's the,
I mean that, yeah. I mean you have the shield, so you can do that. All right. So
yes,
very
exactly.
important. Exactly. So very important question. Advertising and self-promotion. Who
Yeah.
advertises themselves more? The comic, the comedian, or the magician?
You know that place where you're not conscious and you're not sleeping either? That's your power bill to the electric company. Right here. I want us to be here with free energy, where the Wardenclyffe Tower meets the Eiffel Tower. But that's not where we are. We are here, where you've got the utility and you've got residential solar. Between these two, we know which one saves you money. This is where we can go in the meantime. But this is where I want us to be now, and this can be done now. So let me deputize you to represent DOSE, Department of Solar Efficiency, and let's get on the podcast and get the message out today. See you soon.
The comic comedian or magician, but advertise themselves in what way? Are you
Anyway, as it's always changing.
okay? Well, I think I think a lot of it is word of mouth. So
Right.
I think that you get people gravitating towards you because someone else has said, "Oh, check this one out." I don't do any self-promotion really. I don't. I let the venues advertise it. I don't do it on socials or anything. I might do a couple of things saying, "Oh, I'm appearing here, I'm appearing there," but I don't really.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. So, censorship and offense. So, does a comic avoid offense while comedian courts it to prove a point, like a magician?
Well, now the comic, when I'm appearing as myself, I have to be
Okay.
very careful what I say, not to offend.
Now,
But
how do you choose when you're doing that? Either your character, I mean, you do it before. How do you decide if you're Sandra or what was the, or Roman?
Remain. Well, yeah,
Romaine.
I find out the first of all, I find out I know what the venue is
Hmm.
and what the average age is going to be.
Okay. So it's age is really the key here.
Definitely, young people love me.
As
I would say from age 25 to 35, 40, absolutely love me.
as which version of you?
They love the filthy Romaine,
Okay.
and they also love me.
Okay. As they should.
However, the older age group don't like me. And the reason they don't like me is because perhaps I say things that they don't want to acknowledge is happening to them getting older, that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas they love the the naughtiness of Romaine. So
Eh,
it depends on the on who we're going to get in the audience. And
Is
I know
Roma is Romaine aligned with your inner child?
definitely not.
Oh,
No, listen, as I said, look, I'm a professional actor, so I've done lots of different parts, and this I've met someone like Romaine, and I looked at her and I sort of um I looked at some of her characteristics and I just formulated this character.
right.
Rather like you must know Catherine Tate, who's done the same with all her different characters. There's Nan, there's this one, there's that one. I know she's quite big in America. So I'm not to say that I've done the same thing, but I have taken a character that appeals to me and I've formulated it and run with it. So yeah.
Oh, all right. So who survives better in the cancel culture environment? The comic, the comedian, the magician, or the mudslinger?
The mudslinger?
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, look, tell me who's the mudslinger? Give me an
He's the
example of who
oh,
is a mudslinger.
he's the guy at the execution throwing the tomatoes.
The guy at the execution. Well, why? I mean, why would he do that? I mean, it's
That's what
not
he does. That's who
nice.
he is. It's not nice, but you know it's true.
Well, he's not going to survive that long because essentially people there's kindness in people. And,
Of course.
you know, there's a certain amount. Look, there are people that love slapstick comedy. There are people that will laugh like a drain when someone slips over a banana skin or
Right.
gets slapped in the face or gets punched. You know, they'll laugh and laugh and laugh. And then there are others that think, oh, poor thing, you know?
Mm.
And I think essentially underneath it all, I think people are kind inside, deep down, hopefully. I
Mostly.
mean, yeah, mostly. Apart from that, some of the heckles, you know, but yeah, you know. So I don't think the mudslinger would survive long. The magician
Okay.
might, because the magician can, well, change and be here, be there, be everywhere.
Right.
You know, comic and comedian again. They can survive. I think you can survive pretty well if you've got a sense of humor.
That's hopeful. That's the key, right? So, how about timing and delivery? Is it a science or an art?
I think, well, for me personally, I don't think it can be taught.
Okay.
I think it's just people have funny bones. I mean, you can go down the pub or you can go into anywhere and one person can be telling a story and it's a funny story, but there's crickets and another person can tell it with pauses, with animation, and they have the whole room enthralled. And they are
Mm,
naturally funny people. They've got
right.
it in. So yeah, I think it's instinctive. It's like saying to me, can you be taught to sing? Well, technically, you could be taught to sing, but if you haven't got a good voice to begin with, it's never going to sound great, is it?
No, I mean it'll be better, but no, I mean maybe it'll be
Yeah.
interesting because it was so bad and now it's whatever, and
It's
so it's
it's
original.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
the cats aren't screaming in the street. Yeah, okay.
So, all right, how about laughter versus applause? So, are comics chasing laughs and comedians chasing applause breaks or a primetime Emmy that validate the message?
Oh, I just want it all. I want the laughs. If you get an applause break, I go for the laughs, obviously. And when you're doing, there are some jokes that you write that you just know. You're gonna
Hmm.
get an applause break at the end of it because it's so blooming good. And whilst you change your material all the time, the one that always gets the applause break, yeah, I want to keep it in.
All
So
right.
yeah, I love the laughter. That is like adrenaline to me. It's just great.
Oh, we got a junkie here. All right, so how about comedy as commentary? So when does a comedian cross into being a philosopher or a preacher?
Oh, I don't preach. Oh, I might preach a bit as Remain.
Okay. What's the
I give
gospel?
it. I give advice. I give. And having said that, as myself, I did a one-woman hour show at Edinburgh Fringe. You know, Edinburgh is a big fringe in Scotland. And I wrote a book in conjunction with it because there are a lot of self-help books out there, right? So
Mhm.
I did a show called Self-Helpless, where I was giving out shit advice, the worst advice you could possibly have. And it was just turning the self-help book on its head. And so I was dishing out advice to the audience, and they were laughing at it, of course, but that's what I was doing. So
I
yes, I
mean,
was.
I would hope so. I mean, I can only imagine how ridiculous it could get by turning that upside down.
Yes, yes. I mean, ridiculous things like don't be ugly, it's inconsiderate. Just
That's a very British
go
humor
to a
right there.
plastic surgeon. It's no compensation for crooked teeth and a turkey neck. Go
Oh,
to a plastic surgeon. So personality. It was ridiculous, stupid advice, but it got laughs. So
it's no, for sure. I mean, I don't even want to go down the rabbit hole of that yet. We're going to
no,
go down a different rabbit hole if you want. So, Sandra,
okay.
are you ready to enter the multiverse?
The who?
The multiverse.
I'm game.
All right. All right. So you have to choose an avatar. So board game Zoomcast, play versus performance. So if comedy were a board game Zoomcast, are you competing as the colorist avatar, adding tone, mood, and shading, or the Foley artist avatar, building punchlines with soundscapes and timing?
Oh, punchlines,
Okay.
soundscapes, timing.
Nice. So then does comedy work better when it's painted vividly or when it's orchestrated sonically?
Or I think it's our job to paint it. Or to paint a picture that the audience can see and identify with,
Mm,
hopefully,
mm.
or see the absurdity of it.
All
Yeah.
right. I like it. So here on the Comedians and Elevators podcast, we have a tradition where the previous guest asks a question for the next guest. And
Oh,
the previous guest was Matthew Moyer, and his question for you, Sandra, is if you could perform anywhere in the world for a sold out crowd, where would it be?
oh, oh. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. Okay, I come to New York. Right. What's that big
Madison
what's
Square Garden?
that'll do.
Okay. That was
That'll
that.
do. Or the O2 in London.
All right. Now the question is, what name is on the marquee?
Mine, of course.
Oh, not Romaine?
Well, no, because I want lots of followers.
All right. What if they're all going to
No,
be
I don't know. I mean, look, by the time that would possibly happen, I'd be with a Zimmer frame and and a
oh,
stair lift to even
a
get up
Zuma
the
frame?
stairs.
I like it. I like the description. All right. So, last question, legacy. Who gets remembered? Will the comics Tight Five survive time, or will the comedian's cultural point of view be more timeless?
The cultural point of view. Well, now that you see, a lot of comedians, unfortunately, are remembered for bad things,
Hmm.
for the things that they open their mouth and say on social media, for their political views, for their ridiculous, outdated, sexist
Opinions? Oh,
comments, you
right.
know. So I mean, we can all name the ones that have fallen off the wagon. The good ones, oh, the good ones will live on for a long time. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Awesome. Well, Sandra, where can everybody find you online?
Ah, IMDb me for a start, please. I need my star meter to go up for the casting directors. So yes, please do that. And I'm on Instagram, and I'm on TikTok, and I'm under my name, Sandra Hale.
All right. Awesome, Sandra. Well, thank you for being my guest. And for everyone, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you're interested in too much information like in the network state or Mantipus the chicken shit, check out this video. Or is it this one right here? Well, either way. Lizard.